Hello, YouTube. All right, now both Twitch and my YouTube are up. We're going to be starting in a moment. I just got to make sure I post my links and stuff where I need to. And good. How have you guys been today? I'm having a pretty decent day. I've been doing a lot of job hunting, making sure that my audio works in Twitch. Making sure that my audio works in Twitch. Okay, it does look like it's working in Twitch. And what about YouTube? Making sure that my audio works in Twitch. Yep, YouTube is also working. Awesome. All right, let me grab a link to this. Where do I do that? No, I don't want to report my live stream. That would be bad. That'd be very bad for me. Hey guys, I'm streaming. Oh no. Okay. I think is it labeled the right thing? Yeah, it is. All right, sweet. Ha. All right, what else do I got to do? Post that there. Now for promotion. Nice. Okay. Put that there. We're gonna put this over here. I think this is a self-promo thing. Yeah, it is. Okay, we're gonna put that there then. I don't have a lot of internet presence at the moment, but I'm trying to build it. So if you like my stuff, please give me a follow and a like, and that'd be awesome. I'm hoping to get a little better with frequent posting. These don't take a lot of time to set up, so I think I could do this a lot more relatively frequently. But my current job as a driver for Amazon has a lot of my time preoccupied at the moment, fortunately. So I only have 3 days off to do this, and I will try to make the most of them. Let's see. And that will be number 3. Awesome. Okay. I think we have it all set up. So I'm going to get us started. Okay, everyone. So, welcome again to episode 2 of Repulsive Pokemon. This is a series in which I spin a wheel that has 1023 numbers on it. And each of those numbers correspond to a certain Pokemon in the pokedex, because there's apparently 1025 of them as of this current moment. So, what I plan to do is spin the wheel, and for each Pokemon that we get, we draw the whole evolutionary line. And if we get Eevee or an evolution, I will turn it into a different event. You will find out on that stream if I get those. But since there's so many of those evolutions, I think what I might try to do is make that a collaborative effort and open up like a magma canvas or draw pile or something. Just do it with a whole community, and that'd be a lot of fun. I don't expect to get Eevee. I really hope I don't get Eevee this stream. But if we do end up in that situation, I think I'll just spin it again and just make a note of Eevee for the next one that we do. But without further ado, let's see what Pokemon we get, shall we? We're spinning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Which one do we get? 1011. Wonder what one that is. Give me a second. I'll pull up both Google. Oh, that's a cute one. All right. Pokemon 1011 is. Sorry, that's not the right thing. Diplin. If I remember correctly, this is 4 separate Pokemon, so I'm going to try to draw all these in the stream. But yeah, so Diplin, you know what? This is actually a good time to do this kind of thing, because I think caramel apples are like really, really big right now. It's getting into fall as of this current moment in New England. But anyways, let's get to the tablet, shall we? Let me pull up a couple of references here for Diplin. Puppy image. Gonna be a pretty eventful stream. It's probably gonna go on for a while, actually. Let's see here. Oh, he's so small. I didn't realize it was such a small picture I took. Yeah, that's fine. He's a pretty simple one to draw from the looks of it. It's like a little apple with a stem and a tail. But we're gonna try to, desecrate it, for lack of a better word. Let's see here. Right off the bat, I'm thinking a rotting apple. Or like, oh, you know what we could do? It's like a dragon, right? Like a fantasy dragon thing. What if you make it like a poison apple, like something out of a fairy tale? You know what I'm getting at? I think you do. Hmm. So he's got these big eyes, kind of like Mr. Krabs almost. So I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna try to give him a little bit of eye shape, I guess. They definitely go up on stalks, some kind. Let's see here. So I'm trying to give the eyeball as much space as possible to be an eyeball. Because if you just kind of leave it as an oblong shape, it doesn't look too realistic. So he's gonna have this kind of like gecko pod eyeball thing. It is a dragon, it makes sense. But that's just for one of them. And these are spherical. So I think for the last episode, I had Capsicid and Scovillain. And the thing about Capsicid and Scovillain is that they don't have eyes. They have eye holes. So I just made the best of that I could. But for these guys, I can actually go all out because if you can see here, they have eyeballs. But they have like a little white pupil in it. Oh, wait, no, that might just be the shine on it. I think it's just a shine. I could still give them like cataracts, though. It's a little fucked up to say, but they got that little like foggy lens. see here. I have a technique. For most artists, detail typically comes later. You want to get the form factor down. But I'm kind of just doodling. So I'm not really sticking to those principles. If you're going to get into drawing, though, I do highly suggest that you do that. Just so, later on down the line, things are a little easier to draw. And these foggy lenses. I think I'm going to make... Yeah, I'll give them that later, though. Just thinking about the cataracts and this little guy. Gotta add a little bit of eyelash. It doesn't need eyelashes, but boy, is it going to have them. Plants don't need eyelashes. Plant dragons do. For the top one, I don't think I'm going to go as crazy, but definitely eyelashes. And then the back of the eye is going to have like little blood vessels and stuff. Basically like a sack. Nice. One of the eyes. What's our little guy look like? Okay. It's definitely going to go down to this kind of like lobe shape. And then it's got this spike that kind of shoots straight up out of it. And looking at this spike in a little bit greater detail, it looks like it actually blends into the back of the eyes a little bit. So we're going to add that, or try to incorporate that as best we can. We're going to have like a little webbing, I guess. My town has a festival every so often, and they have candy apples there. Those kettle corn and stuff. My town is the weirdest stuff. Growing up in it, I never really noticed a lot of this. But we have not to dox myself, but we have a festival dedicated to a certain type of vegetable that happens every year. And it happens around May, and we turn it into this big like a big event with like country music and bluegrass and things like that. I love bluegrass. Bluegrass is a lot of like how do I put it? I grew up with a lot of country music in a state that doesn't really have a ton of it. So like the further east you go, the more like pop and rap and stuff you hear, but like it's my state is kind of like just where the Appalachian Mountains terminate and become smaller mountain ranges that are known like more locally. So we still have a little bit of that Appalachian influence. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about the festival, yeah. So yeah, we have a festival dedicated to a certain type of vegetable every single year. And describing stuff that happens in my hometown is very weird when you put it into the context of telling people who don't like also live there. Because I remember I was going to college and I was talking with some of my my college classmates about where we came from, because this the college I went to is actually pretty far away from where I grew up. So I had to explain a couple of things about where I'm from, and to me it makes a lot of sense because grew up around it. The other people, they put they gave me some context which made it a little weird. This is at least hear it from their side and their perspective. Is the festival isn't the only thing that happens in my town. We also have a town bonfire, which I thought was pretty normal. Apparently it's not. You guys are welcome to tell me if it isn't. But we take a lot of like excess wood and carpentry stuff that people don't really need anymore. Like, old drawers and stuff from home renovations, and then we build this big pile of it in the center of town. Sometime during July, not on Independence Day, but around it, we we just set it ablaze in the center of town. We all just kind of stand around it and watch. And it sounds a little cultish, just slightly cultish when you put it into perspective. But I didn't realize that, and I was telling a couple of like my college friends that we have this every year, and they're like, "Okay, so you guys light a giant pile of wood in the center of town, and your town is in the middle of freaking nowhere, by the way. My hometown, you know, people will come through on occasion, but it's not particularly like busy. So I was like, you know, talking to them about it, and they're like, all right, so let me explain what you just told us. You told us that your hometown, in the middle of nowhere, like miles and miles of dirt road and stuff with no like lamps or lights on overhead or anything to indicate, civilization until you kind of stumble upon it. Uh Imagine you driving this road through the back country, as you put it, and then like the only light you see is this slow orange yellow glistening of a fire, and as you pull in close to be like, oh, there's civilization, you see a bunch of people standing around a giant burning pile of wood and staring at it. And when you put it like that, yeah, that's creepy as shit. It's like Children of the Corn. But it's like a celebration. We don't just do that. There's like ironically, there's the fire department there promoting like donations, things like that. They're actually the ones that set it on fire. No, they're the ones that put it ablaze to begin with. So it's like a controlled burn. But yeah, we watch that every year. And we have like music and stuff that plays too, so it's great. But good God, now that I think about it, if I wasn't raised in a situation where that was like a regular thing, I'd definitely be a little like scared of the boonies for sure. All right. I love the little globs that this apple guy has. I'm gonna try to incorporate that as best I can. This really is looking like a still life drawing from like a SpongeBob episode. You know the ones. All the early 2000s like cartoon shows did it. Flapjack was a definitely, I think it was one of the worst offenders for it, where they just had these scenes where everything was highly rendered in detail. Can you imagine just being a kid at a festival and then seeing this being offered? Like, mother, I desire to have the apple candy. Like, no, son, that's a creature. You can't eat that. I don't care. God wouldn't have designed it to be delectable looking if it didn't. If God did not want it to be. It's okay to say that because the Pokemon universe has a god, so I'm not like I'm not being blasphemous, I swear. I never understood that. Why did they make Pokemon that look edible? what's what's the deal behind that? That's so like I don't know. It's just like setting them up for failure. You know what I mean? I know they have like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Can you freaking imagine like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon situation where you just got like I don't know, you met Truckcoon, you ended up in the Pokemon world, and you end up as this fucking thing, or like God forbid, like a Vanillite. What would you do? you know, every Pokemon around you is gonna be like, oh, that's just like that's adorable. You're just another one of the friends, but you just know in the back of your mind. It's gonna be that one freak, that one like hypno or like a drowsy that's just in the area going like, I want to lick it just once. You know? It's just gonna be in the back of one of their heads. One of your friends. Well, I wouldn't be friends with it. Not to be no, this isn't racist to say. I don't think I'd be friends with a drowsy or a hypno. It just kind of seems like a bad idea. Sorry for the Pokemon racism, people. I don't know. I mean, maybe I could, but it'd be that kind of situation, like the hypothetical of would you be friends with someone who could shapeshift? Because it could be like those things can eat your dreams and like know your deepest and darkest like secrets, I guess. I don't really have any of those, but like some people might. I don't know if I could live with that. I promise you this is not a Freudian slip, but like think of it like this, where you're just kind of like in a situation where you're talking with your friends, and then Drowsy comes out of the corner of the bar and he says, "Oh hey, what's up, Huntress Kitty? I just saw your message in the chat. Hello." Anyways, back to the hypothetical. Imagine you're just like, you know, you're sitting at the juice bar or whatever it is in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explores the Sky, the one with that spin to runs. You're just chilling there with your Pokemon friends. You're just like, vibing, having a good time, relaxing, all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. But then Drowsy comes from the corner, up to no good, causing trouble in the Pokemon neighborhood. And he says to you, "I know what you did. I know what you did. You hit that person's cat with your sedan going through that rural area, didn't you?" And that's not a Freudian slip, I swear. This is just hypothetical. Uh, and you didn't stop to apologize. Because he could just read your mind and then do that. You know? I don't think I could, be around that. That would be way too stressful. I swear, guys, I did not hit a cat with my sedan. That never happened. If I did anything of the sort, I would definitely stop, apologize. I'd be inconsolable. I would be like crying and like, yeah. I wouldn't be some kind of psychopath that's like, oh, just another thing on the road. No. It's someone's beloved pet. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, Huntress, I did not do that. I swear. This is hypothetical. There's not even cats in the Pokemon universe. They're all Pokemon. You know? You know what? Fuck it. That sounds way too incriminating. I'll let you guys decide if I hit a cat with my sedan or not. As fucked up as that is. God damn. Okay. Applin needs a tail. We're gonna give him a tail. Yeah, there's cat-themed Pokemon, but like they're not actually cats. I'm pretty sure everything in the Pokemon universe lays eggs. Cats don't lay eggs. That actually does raise a question, though. If everything in the Pokemon universe, you know, that has been observed lays eggs to reproduce, does that also mean, like, by association, like humans do as well? That'd be, that's a really like disturbing image to think of, but like, there's actual primates in that universe, and they have been observed, or no, I don't think they have been observed, but I'm pretty sure since your trainer's always like at least or at most like 14 years old, they don't want to have that conversation with you when you go to the daycare. So maybe that is the case. That'd be so freaking weird, man. He's got leaves that come out of his tail. I really hope to God people don't lay eggs in that universe. I hope to Arceus people don't lay eggs in that universe. Looks like the leaf has been munched on a little bit. The Caterpie got to it. I might add a couple like leaf veins to it. Just the essence of leaf vein. Hey Huntress, what's your favorite Pokemon? I hope I didn't just cause an existential crisis about like humans in the Pokemon world. Let's change the subject. You got a favorite Pokemon? Eevee. That's a pretty solid one, yeah. I can see that. You got a lot of options. If I if there was ever a situation in which I'd end up as an Eevee, or I'd probably try to evolve into Sylveon because then I have appendages I can use to like draw and open cabinets and things. Because let's be real, like the other ones, you're gonna have to like bark at someone to open the door. I like Smeargle. It's a goofy little artist guy. I've gotten so much shit for liking Smeargle too. My friends would be like, "That Pokemon's ass. It can learn every move, but it sucks at all of them." And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't care, man. He's a little artist dog. He just walks around. He just like, he makes art. He causes graffiti. That would be such a great life. Well, I mean, save for like occasionally getting your ass beat by like a stray cat. Just going around the Pokemon world as a Smeargle, you could just draw things all the time. People would feed you. They'd just like go by and be like, "Oh my god, it's adorable! It's in the street." They just give you like, what are they eating in that world? Like puffins? I think it's like puffins or something. Yeah, I could totally do that. Huh. Okay, that leaf looks pretty decent. I do have 3 more Pokemon to draw on the stream, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more textures. Just to, accentuate the blob of, what is it, caramel, bio, flavonoid, whatever. I really don't know what Pokemon are made of. I really think it was like an insidious decision on Arceus's behalf to create fucking sentient food Pokemon. Hey, I'm glad this gives you entertainment at work. I'm trying my best. I think, what would you, if you had to be a food Pokemon, which one would you pick? I think, thinking real hard about this. What what are the food Pokemon that exist? Because there are quite a few of them. I don't want to take away too much from the stream and look it up. Hmm. It's so slow and boring. The only thing I see out here most of the time are the kitty cats. There might be a total of 8 people, if not 9, that have shown up here. Oh. I'm sorry it's slow and boring for you. I'm glad I'm providing some entertainment in the interim. I'm gonna add some wrinkles to the tail. As I was saying before, what edible Pokemon would I be? I am probably gonna have to Google this. I'm gonna Google this. The food Pokemon. What do they look like? I know one of the newer ones, like an olive tree. Okay. Execute. This might sound like a cop out, but if I was to be a food Pokemon, it would probably be a Slowpoke, just because I feel like I'm in the least amount of danger. Because in that universe, it is like they, for a fact, eat their tails. You know? And I'd have to worry about people cutting it off every so often, like a psychopath. But I also like shed it naturally, I think, what I remember. So that's something. Alright, I think this guy looks visceral enough. I might just add a couple minor like cream details on the bottom here. Because I know, like, what is it called? Alcremie? I think it's called Alcremie. It's another food one, but that motherfucker is definitely getting eaten. you know? You're walking around the forest smelling like a freaking, like a buffet or like a bakery. You're definitely gonna get eaten by something. As shitty as it sounds. Alright. So that's it for that one. I'm gonna color these all at once, I think. What's the next evolution of Applin? I think it's like Flapple or something. I know that's one of them. Okay, Applin evolution line. Oh, I drew the wrong one. Well, I did draw the right one. This is the middle evolution, apparently. This is not the first one. There's 5 of them? There's 5 of them. All right. Well, this has all of them, so I'm just gonna save this as a reference. You can just be gone. I'm gonna be on this for a while. Okay. This whole, like, bad apple family is gonna get drawn today. I didn't know that there was 5. There's Applin, Apple Spike, Apple Pie Thing, Lizard, and Snake. Okay. So this guy, this guy is where it starts, actually. So I'm gonna have to redraw. He's got like a fused Sonic eyeball, so I'm definitely gonna use that. Alright. But that's what he looks like. He's a little apple with wing eyes. I do have my work cut out for me, yeah. That's a lot of fun. Trying to think about what I want to do to start. I think I'm just gonna make like a standard apple. So he starts off being adorable. I might make it cracked at the top just to have somewhere where the eye comes out of. The uni eye. Comes down like that. This goes out and down. We're having happy little accidents, as Bob Ross would like to say. I'm drawing one of those weird apples that have like the utter bottom to them. You know what I'm talking about, right? Some apples have like the weird pointed thing within the like fruit sphincter or whatever at the bottom. That's a weird thing to say, but yeah. It is kind of like a fruit sphincter. Now for the uni eye. It's gonna be fused together with tendrils. Sorry if this makes you uncomfortable. This is that's kind of what I'm going for. We're gonna make it's like fused at a certain point. He doesn't get eyeballs or eyelids until the second evolution. So his first one has just these like Sonic the Hedgehog eyes. That'd be a fun series, making people Sonic OCs. I could do that. All right. That's a good eye shape. I'm just gonna do that. And then from the back, we're gonna draw like the muscle connections, like there. Be very visceral. The back of the eye has muscles that look kind of like that, right? And there's like the vessels that come out, like yeah, it seems right. You think Arceus created Applin just because he was hungry one day? Just kind of. I know, like in reality, it's probably like some Pokemon team member that's like, we should make them look like food. But like in the canonical universe, Arceus created all Pokemon. So you think Arceus one day was like, oh shit, I'm feeling a little peckish. Huh. Oh no, I just made a Pokemon. What Pokemon did I make? Oh god. Good lord. He just stares down. There's like an apple tree that's growing a dragon out of it. Oh, that's awful. I'm gonna take away its like nerve endings so it doesn't feel pain. All the food Pokemon exist because Arceus got peckish one day. He just subconsciously made them because he was hungry. Man, if I had a godlike power to create all the Pokemon in the world, I'd make some really. I mean, it's evident in the way that I'm currently drawing this, but I'd make some pretty fucked up ones. Pokemon doesn't have enough horror in it. We need. They have it too good for too long. We need to start making some actual, like, threats to existence. I'd have one that, like, impersonates people. Or, you know, there are a couple that do that. I think, like, Jinx does that. I'd make like a Wendigo one that like preys on people. I'd be a fucked up god. Yeah, yeah, I have. Achievement unlocked. You have made the edible gross apple. Indeed. It's very, very edible and gross. It looks like it's bursting out of the crack like a sunflower. Or not a. That's not the right one. Like a dandelion. You tried your best. You poisoned the cement. You made it so that way it'd be fucking impossible for it to grow, but it just prevailed anyway. You know? What else does it have? It looks like it has the like it doesn't have the candy coating, but it has a semblance of like color teeth or whatever on it. So I'm gonna try to incorporate that. Do you think this apple would taste meaty if you bit into it? Would it taste like an actual apple? Oh, whoops. Got to avoid hitting Control X because that deletes the drawing. I don't want that. But he does need a tail again. Like a meaty apple. Mixture of both, huh? Make it like a grub. And have like a grub tail. I don't know. Yeah. I think it would taste meaty. I think it would taste like there's like a really freaking good like it would probably taste like Chinese sausage. If you ever had that? It's like this red sausage you can buy at like a marketplace and it's really sweet. That's probably what this apple tastes like. Oh, it has like I think sticks or something poking out. I'm just gonna draw his little exposed nerve endings. How adorable. Those become leaves. Alright. So I'm gonna try to increase the size of some of the middle ones. You're gonna be there. Shrinking you down. So that's Applin. Yeah. It gets its eye stalks later in life. But for the first, until it evolves, which it's going to try to do as hastily as possible because its existence is pain. It doesn't have any eyelids. It can't like blink. What is it? It grows them later. All right. Now it has 3 evolutions, I believe. So, which one should I tackle first? Hmm. That gecko one shows me most of the body, I think. Wait, no, it would probably be this fella. He's got a cute little thing going on with him. An apple pie. You got this Hydra looking guy. I think just because this is what comes after this one and I already drew that one, I'm gonna start with the Hydra looking dude. Basically a snake and an apple. He's adorable. I'm gonna turn these off just to save some space. You can kind of start seeing his eyes the way they're supposed to be, but you know I'm not gonna draw them the way they're supposed to be. He's interesting looking, I'll give him that. If this dragon doesn't have the most Yas Queen eyelashes in existence, it's not a real Everyone knows they're supposed to look like brats. All dragons have brat's eyelashes. Should I give him that weird, freaky, like, third, like, eyelid that lizards have? I'm gonna do that. Looking more like a lizard. Which is what I'm going for. It's the first time I drew an eye that's, like, actually good looking. Eyes are the windows to the soul. This one's pure white because he sold his. You know, considering this Pokemon looks like pie, probably start a tangent about pie. Because I like some pie. Pie tastes really good. And around this time of year, we have some of the best pies in my area. I like pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is absolutely delicious to me. I'm thinking I might make some pumpkin pie. Now that I'm thinking about it, if I have time, I'm not going to have time tomorrow because I'm going to be on the road all day. But if I have time during the days that I'm off or until I find another job aside from Amazon, because Amazon awful, hate it, I'm going to make a pumpkin pie. I also might decorate it. I might put, what should you put on a pumpkin pie? It's got a very unique taste. It's like this, like cinnamony, nutmeggy. I don't know. It's unique. It's very unique. What would complement that? Hmm. I guess whipped cream. Whipped cream goes like freaking amazing on any pie. Just have to pull up references every so often for what this guy looks like. It's such a goofy looking Pokemon. Good lord. Yeah, he's got the head that comes right down the center like that, and then I think his nose turns up. I'm gonna draw that flat like that one snake with the pig nose. You know the one I'm talking about, right? See if you find a picture of that. Pig nose snake. More like an upturned lip, actually, now that I look at it. And he's got like the... I think I'm also gonna stick to the trend of snake by just having it like... There we go. Look at that. I'm not gonna go super hard. Just because apparently I have 5 of them to draw. Which I did not realize I had till not too long ago. But I am going to draw the back of the head where the jaw kind of like unhinges so it can swallow its prey. It's got like viper teeth. I wonder what kind of venom this thing would have. Maybe it's got the opposite. Like it doesn't have any venom, it injects insulin. Because the Pokemon is like, I don't know, eating it causes diabetes. That'd be actually a very useful Pokemon to have if you have diabetes. It just injects like insulin and saves your life. It'd be very ironic to walk around with like a Pokemon that looks like that while also being diabetic, but it could save your life. You know? You never know. Alright. A Drod's like nose. There we go. Bring that back. That is its other eye. Make it look like a pod, because that's where the eye is stored. Trying to think. He's got a pretty cool like neck thing that comes down. But on the back of his head, he also has this weird like Charizard spike thing. I'm just gonna draw that come out like this, and then his little cocktail onion. I might have to pull up a better picture of this thing just to see what that is. I know it's like an apple or something, but Applin. Damn it. I'm on Google currently. Okay. I can't tell if that's on both sides of his head or one of them. It's got like these two spurs that come out of the side of its head, but it's always looking from the same perspective. Maybe it is just one. That's weird. I think it's one, but it has like a leaf coming off of it, which is what makes it like look like that. Curl that in a little bit, kind of like what we did with the pepper or capsicid. And then this has a weird texture on it. It's like yeah, like that. Shrink you. I'm a freaky apple lizard. I love eating things and injecting insulin into my diabetic Pokemon trainer. I think that's what this thing would sound like. I still don't even know what it's called. Okay, so I think what I drew before was Diplin, not Applin. So, from the looks of things, it evolves from Applin to Appletoon or Flapple. But it could also evolve into Diplin and become like Hydrapple, I think is what that's called. I think that's what this one is called that I'm drawing right now, Hydrapple. Or I could got the I might have this wrong. No, it is Hydrapple. Okay, I got it right. The eyes on this thing are red, by the way. Looking at reference art. I'm gonna make the apple on this just so freaking tiny. He's barely gonna have anything to stick out of. It's gonna be like yeah, try hiding your entire body in this. Oops. I mean open that menu. Close that. I have a tiny little tail. Most off-balance Pokemon in existence. Hydrapple. I have this withered, like, stem tail. A couple of sticks coming off of it. This just didn't grow right, you know? It's supposed to have, like, leaves at the end. But literally all of the energy when this thing was growing just went to its head. So it's got this skinny little emaciated tail and apple. Wasn't planted right away, so it just ended up like that. You know? They left him on the doorstep a little too long. Didn't bury him in a pot. Huh. Alright, he's got this like yeah, like that. As it gets lower, it's like worse because it's shrinking into like this disgusting emaciated tail. This is what is left of me. I am Hydrapple. And it's got like there we go. That's a little too close to that. If I had the opportunity to win this thing at the county fair, I'd cry. I saw this as a child, be like, the carny leaned down over the counter is like, you have to bob for this thing. I would literally cry, probably pee myself, and make my dad very ashamed of me. I'm not built for that kind of Pokemon world. He'd look down at me and be like, "This one is not going to be a powerful Pokemon trainer." And then he'd put all of his effort into my sister. Be like, "This one will. The other one is destined to be, I don't know, like the one in the forest who challenges trainers that walk by. Nothing special." I think if I had Pokemon, if I was in the Pokemon world, I'd probably. I know the easiest things people would say would be like, "Oh, I'd be a trainer. I'd do all the kinds of cool stuff and go on an adventure." No, I'd have taxes to pay probably. Even though it's like this solar punk society where everything's great, I'd probably still have to pay my taxes. I'd probably I'd get an RV. I'd get like a Smeargle or like an artist Pokemon of some kind. And I'd open a small like traveling studio and we'd go to places like Castelia City or maybe Pokestar Studios in Burbank City. Just make a living as an artist. Occasionally battle people. I would not. I don't think I'd end up as like a gym leader or someone of that caliber. Probably do that. I'd be like a traveling artist, or I'd be a Pokemon Ranger. You know, for those of you unaware, which I doubt there are any unaware, there is a spin-off game called Pokemon Ranger, which is like really really fun. And I think if I was in the Pokemon world, I'd be a Pokemon Ranger. Either that or as a traveling artist. If I, if that career flops, yet I'd definitely be in shape. I mean, all these people like eat healthy and run around, things like that. So I doubt that I'd be as large as I am today. Hmm. Yeah, the Pokemon world, you just have so much to do. Yeah. Well, anyways, that's Hydrapple, I think, for now. So I'm just gonna, you know, finish that. Now we have two more to draw. We're a little over halfway. And then we get to coloring. So, Flapple or Appletoon? I think I'm going to draw this little fella afterward. This is going to be the last one. So I'm going to try to draw the flying guy first. Which is an interesting looking dude. He's got like chubby little cheeks. I love that. It's a very complicated design. So I have to pay close attention to what I'm doing. He's got this kind of like nose that comes down like. This is a nose. Okay? For all those concerned, this is a nose. Inserts that one meme. Is this is an apple. Shows off what you draw. Oh, is that the one you I know what you're referencing. You're referencing that one anime still. A guy pointing to a butterfly. Yeah. And draw his like jowls. lizard jowls. He kind of has those. I think this one, okay, he's still gonna have like really big eyes, but for this evolution, they got so big. You gotta have a place, like a balance, okay? So for the Hydrapple, I drew the eyes as like a build off of this. But since these two are like premature evolutions, and that's the actual final evolution, we're gonna have the eyes do different things depending on what they are. So for this one, since this one doesn't have any eyes, I'm gonna draw those like non-existent. But for this one, it's gonna have like huge, just protruding eyeballs. So big they don't even fit in the sockets anymore. Oh, he's got this like your face shell thing too, so gotta remember to incorporate that. But yep, he's gonna have like there we go. He's got this look on his face, kind of like a Muppet. Hello, everyone. It's me, Flapple. Dirty, dirty, dir. Yeah, don't look at my tax history. Flapple would be that one uncle that shows up to the family reunion, and you find out later that the reason they don't invite him to any of them anymore is because he's like racist. He just kind of shows up and makes everything awkward. And then he drops something just really out of pocket at the dinner table. It's just awful. That's something Flapple would do. That strikes me as like a Flapple move. You know I wouldn't be friends with any Drowsy. You gotta be careful around them. Okay, Uncle Flapple, please don't do that. Don't say things like that. That's not okay for 2025. Oh, but they do, you know, they do some things to kids. It's not right. He keeps bringing that up. That was a callback, by the way, to the beginning of the stream, if you guys remember. I slowly kind of made him turn into Kermit. Hey guys, it's me, Flapple. I just bought a yacht. You guys want to hang out with me? Sorry, Uncle Flapple, we can't. You're bad. Our mom said we can't check it out. No, I'm not a Drowsy. You don't have to worry about me, you know, doing things. I shouldn't. Sorry, we really just don't want to hang out with you, man. Look, I had that one phase in my 20s where I did things I shouldn't, but I'm beyond that now. I've grown. I've grown as a person. I even put up an apology video on YouTube. This is so fucked. All right. He's definitely gonna have a turkey neck. I'm giving him a turkey neck. That was very. That was the most stupid, like fucking unhinged rant. What would you even call that? It was like a role play, I guess. I role played Flapple as like this gross uncle who like is racist at family gatherings. And have this awful bat wing arm. Hmm. An apology video won't undo the damage of all war crimes you have committed. You don't know about those. What happens in Iran stays in Iran. Pokemon Iran. What region would that be? There's no Pokemon region for Iran. Look, I did some very questionable things overseas. But I'm still a war veteran. I'm still a hero. You can't say things like that. That's not appropriate. I'm a better person. I'm a better person now. Okay, he's got like 3 fingers. I'm gonna draw these like. Why does none of my nephews want to talk to me? This is fucked. Pokemon have wars in it. I think there's probably been a few. All the lives of the children. I don't know how you came across that government file. I'm gonna have to report to my superiors about that. Civilians shouldn't know about what I did. Pokemon I ran. Mm. It's the most unhinged. I'm a veteran. Be nice to me. And what else is? I'm trying to figure out what the wings look like. They're just like shell of apple. Yeah. I don't think it has like feet. All the files have been leaked. I don't know if I can make a joke about that on Twitch. Hold on. I'm gonna make a Google search. Will they ban me for talking about that on Twitch? On Twitch, it is acceptable to talk about or discuss Jeffrey Epstein and his associated crimes, but you must do so carefully. Mark video with politics and sensitive social issues. Okay. Alright, I can make this joke now. I guess it's capable enough. I'm okay enough to make the joke. You, I know you don't have the files because they won't release them from the White House. Okay. You know, it was sitting on the FBI's desk for the longest time, but we just won't fucking release them because, you know. I gotta be careful about what I joke about now because I'm streaming, and I get very unhinged very easily. Public knows of all the atrocities you have committed. Yeah, sure they do. Just don't focus on that. You should focus on the current the person in office right now. He's on the list, you know. Yeah, don't pay attention to me. Look at everyone else. He says funny, stupid shit on Twitter. You think Flapple would be conservative? You know what? I'm not gonna talk about politics. Let's not talk about politics. That's enough of that. Epstein's okay to joke about because, you know, it's like commonly accepted a lot of them are just pedophiles, so whatever. But I'm gonna draw a line there. Let's see. Try to keep the video positive, you know? Man, I can't wait to be done with the line work for this pedophile. Sorry, for Flapple, so that we can move on to another drawing. That was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Alright. Yeah, Flapple would definitely be Uncle Touchy. I can't believe you called me a pedophile. What the fuck? But you did. I'm a better person. I know I was on Chris Hansen, but like, come on, man. I'm trying to turn my life around. The worst nephew. Just making him like connected to the apple below him. It's me, Flapple. I'm almost done. I'm gonna draw the little apple nipples at the bottom. Yeah, some apples have that. I drew that earlier. There we go. Hey, it's me, Flapple. Haha. I gotta distinguish his like chest from his upper body. There we go. Yes, the positivity you must thrive on. I thrive on positivity, yes. No, don't turn me invisible. That would be the end of that. Okay, he's gone now. We don't have to worry about Flapple. I mean, we're gonna have to worry about him at the end. He might get a little chatty when we're coloring him in. But as of right now, he's fine. Let's see here. Now we're drawing Appletoon. What should I make Appletoon? He's got this like pie on his back that looks kind of like a tumor. I guess I could work off that. Yeah, we can make it like a big pie boil. I gotcha. I got an idea. So he's got this little helmet thing and like ears. He's gonna be like, Appletoon is the better uncle. This is the uncle who is like a stoner, but it definitely shows up to all your family events and is very friendly and nice. Brings you presents on Christmas. Hey kiddo, it's me, Appletoon. We don't talk about my brother-in-law. He does some fucked up things. Okay, this one is kind of like cute, actually. I gotta somehow fuck this up. Can't have it too cute now, can we? It's got this thing over his face. You know what? I'll allow the front to be cute, but then when we get to the tumor, that's gonna be something. Gravity, man. Uh, yeah, so this is his big neck that he's got. Maybe he's just morbidly obese. He could be morbidly obese. Like moi. Let's see here. And bring that down a little bit. What's his arms look like? Okay, he's just got little paws. He's got squiggles. Like a chowder character. Yeah, that's right. I got squiggles. It's me, Appletoon. What's Appletoon's lore? So we talked, he's like the cool uncle, right? What does he do for work? I think Appletoon was a driver's ed teacher who got fired after he evolved because he couldn't see anymore. His eyes were just gone. Maybe Appletoon has a history of like, I don't know, DUIs. But he actually has gotten better and the family is like okay with it. Maybe Appletoon's like, he had like a near-death experience while, you know, drinking and driving. And then after that, he like had like a come to Jesus moment. He does CrossFit now. I can see that happening. Oh god. He's so fat. Oh. What should I he's got a big beefy tail too. I'm Appletoon. I used to be a driver's ed teacher, but then I had a bad time. Some bad things happened. Speaking of fat Pokemon, there is this art, I guess, from the Pokemon anime. They don't have Ash anymore as like a main character, but they had a scene in the new one where I guess like someone's Rockruff evolved like a rock dog Pokemon, and it became this like what is it? It became, I guess it was fed like a lot when it was still a Rockruff. When it evolved into a Lycanroc, it was like so chubby. It was so chubby and cute, and it like took over Twitter for like a good amount of time. People were just obsessing about this fat dog. Drawing the tubers. I wish I could show it on stream, but I think that might get taken down. I gotta be very careful about what I stream right now. But yeah, I highly recommend going and check out this like really fat Lycanroc. It's so cute looking. I think they fixed it, like he's not fat anymore. But for a short time, he was very fat. I wonder what the new Pokemon's about. I remember I used to watch the old one. It was you know, that's a topic all on its own. Pokemon used to be fucking like evil to Ash Ketchum, especially in the first few seasons. They treated him like, oh my god, I'd hate to be that kid. He was, you know, he woke up late, so he couldn't get the right Pokemon he wanted. He ended up getting Pikachu, and Pikachu was just an absolute asshole to him the whole time. Throughout like the first season, he was trying his best to work with Pikachu, and Pikachu the whole time was just fighting him every step of the way. And on top of that, he's like catching Pokemon and like and everyone's making fun of him for being stupid and dumb and bad. And it's just like, you know, after I got into Pokemon around like Gen 4 with like Lucario and like Sinnoh and all that. So I had no idea about like anything for BDSP. Sorry, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. I had Emerald for a bit, but I didn't watch the anime at the time. Emerald was my first game. But I saw the series at Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and everyone seemed very, very chill, like friendly and everything. But in the earlier seasons, fucking Ash was just getting slapped around. And it was like real too. It was like you were in a like at one point he loses his Metapod in like, you know, a freak accident where there was like no way he could like feasibly get his Metapod to safety without, you know, also hurting himself. And they're in a, I don't know what episode this was, so I'm gonna have to link it later. But there's like this, you know, scene where he's talking to this like kid dressed up as a samurai in the woods. And he's like, you abandoned him. You abandoned your Metapod, and you're a terrible person for abandoning your Metapod. And the whole time he's like, you know, Ash is just like, you're right. Oh my god, I gotta go back and get my Metapod. He does, but it's like in that current situation, it's like who could fucking blame him? You know, he was getting attacked by like Beedrill or something like that. They're giant fucking like bees with giant drills. It's like, you know, it lives up to its name. It's a fucking like dangerous wasp creature with like drills that could pound holes through your body. And Ash is like a 10-year-old kid, you know? So it's like, what the fuck is he gonna do? It's like, God, he shouldn't. I don't know if like Gary had it easier. I think Gary Oak did have it easier, to be honest. He woke up on time. His grandfather's the professor, so he gets fucking everything he wants. He's like a shithead the whole time to Ash too. I like. I will say though, after watching like the older Pokemon episodes, I really appreciate Ash's character more. I, for the longest time, I always thought Ash Ketchum was like really annoying and I didn't like him. But after seeing like the kind of shit he went through in like the Kanto League and all of that, I was like, maybe he isn't so bad. Especially since he's dealing with all these like psychopaths. um all right. What else does he have? Oh, he's got leaves sticking out of him too. Okay. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I really don't want to get lazy with the line work. I have to do better. Gotta look good when I'm done, you know? Yeah, like that. Pokemon's like actually a dark world. At least it can be. But yeah, later on in like Diamond, Pearl, what is it, Battle Dimension or something? He has it very like, yeah, he has it pretty easy there. He does have this one asshole trainer though, which I feel is like a call out to, people that are like super competitive with Pokemon. So I heard this once before online. I can't pinpoint exactly where it was. It might have been like Reddit or something, or like a Reddit reading on YouTube Shorts. It might have. You know what? I think that's where I got it. I think it was a YouTube short. Um, People were discussing like the reason why all the Pokemon you face are like so under leveled and trainers only have like a few of them is because in that world trainers are like substantially more attached to their Pokemon. It's not like than you are. Because for you, it's just a game. You're gonna catch a Pokemon, name it like Blankus or something stupid like that. But in their universe, that's their pet. This is their friend that's been with them for a long time. So when you go and you go in and you like catch all the strongest ones that you know are going to evolve into like the strongest like league compatible Pokemon, and you might get bonded to them, you might not, who knows. But you know, you're going up against people that are like, I know he's like a rock type, but he's my friend and I care about him and I like him. And then you just come in and just sweep through his team, and the whole time you're thinking to yourself, oh well, he didn't care at all for this kind of thing. Like what the fuck? And it's just like, who would in this universe? Pokemon are your friends. They're like your companions, and you're walking around with like a level 68 Garchomp or whatever. I don't know when they evolve. Just annihilating people and their pets that are just trying to friendly, fight you. And I think they personified that in this character named Paul in like the Diamonds, Pearl, Platinum show. Because Paul was just this absolute douchebag who belittled, Ash and was like incredibly tough on his Pokemon to the point where they were like literally, he EV trained them. He like did all this shit. And they were so stressed out and pissed off at him that like they barely had any personality to speak of. And I think that was like one of the big deals in the show too, because Ash, did not agree with Paul because of the way he trained his Pokemon, which was borderline sociopathic. He'd like have, I think Ash's Chimchar actually was Paul's at one point, and that Chimchar was like, fucked up because of Paul. All right, I think that's Appletune done. Nope, I gotta discern what is his belly. Like that. Okay. Oh, that's his leg, actually. His leg should just stay the same color. But under here. Okay. There he is. Morbidly obese Appletune. With like... Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm gonna add a couple things. Just the angriest tumor. There we go. All right, I think that's a line art for all of them done. So I'm gonna organize them in the way that they're. Hey, how's it going? It's me again, haha. Shut the fuck up, Flapple. All right, so Appleton, he's gonna be back. He's gonna be down here. Okay. This asshole is gonna be up here. You're smaller. You're gonna go right there. Not as small as the. I'm trying to control my fucked up humor. I'm not saying that. So this is like a little. Actually, if I spin him around, I might actually have space to just put the thing there. You're gonna get mirrored. We're almost at that point, folks. Almost done. This may have to be two separate images, depending. You know what? No, it doesn't have to be two separate images. I could just, like, put everything in a group. Uh-oh, what the fuck did I just do? That's the ref. Don't need that. I'm gonna group that, and then we're gonna shrink it. How long have I been streaming for? Oh, it's just about 2 hours. That's not bad. That'll go right there. The Apple family. Applin's gonna go right there. Good God. There's not much going on with his butt, so I'm just gonna put this here. Those look grotesque cute. Thank you. They are grotesque cute. Hey, Drapple, we're gonna move just a little bit close behind Appletune. Just because I want to be able to move some of this stuff around. Give things space that they need. I drew 5 Pokemon tonight. Alright. Here comes the fun part of coloring them. So for the front ones, I'm actually going to have them be their own colored layer. And for the back ones, the back 3, they're going to have... Actually, they're pretty close together. I should probably Do one for each layer. Okay. So first off, it's gonna be real simple. This fella. No open spaces. There is an open space right there. Cover that up. Make sure there's no open spaces, because if there are, then the color tool is not going to work properly. Everything has to be enclosed. That's fine, that's fine. Oh, cool. I think that is fully enclosed. So what I'm going to do is use the magic wand tool. We're going to surround them. Make sure to add this section and that section, and then we're going to invert it. Select invert selection. I'm going to turn on the reference. Get the colors that I need. This guy's like a candied apple, so we're going to go for that color. Then on this page, we're going to just use my gradient tool and color them in. Then just slowly fix up, get colors that we need. The darker one's going to be like, there we go. He's got this like stem. I'm going to steal this. Eyes are going to have this color to them. There's going to be a lot of just cleaning, I guess. Swap it. Gonna make sure all of his eyebrows or eyelashes are colored in. That's important. He's got red demonic eyes, but that's going to change. Trying to think about what other Pokemon things that I liked doing as a kid. There was this really bad like source filmmaker series someone made called Legendaries from Construct. And I used to watch that religiously when I was super little. They took like Call of Duty or like Left 4 Dead zombie noises, and then they just like, they took the main legendaries of each generation, like Lugia, and I think it mainly focused on Reshiram and Zekrom. But yeah, they they made really stupid skits with these characters. There's one, I think the ultimate thing they're building up for was like fighting Justin Bieber, because Justin Bieber at the time was like the enemy of every like middle school boy. Nowadays, I still think Justin Bieber is kind of like I don't blame him for. Mm, I think Justin Bieber turned out the way that he turned out because of the bullying that he endured. We'll put it that way. Because he hasn't done like a lot of good things in the past. People could have gone easier on him, is what I'm trying to get at. I'm gonna leave the red in the corner of the eyes just because it's like, you know, bloody. Trying to bite my tongue at topics I shouldn't talk about. Not fun. I'm gonna steal the red once again. I think just for. Nah, I could probably still do it. Applin's got like dark eyes like that. That's the color for that one done. We're just gonna group that, close that, turn it off. Now it's this guy's turn. We're just gonna go through and just slowly, you know, color in all of these. I think that was fully enclosed to begin with. That's actually really good. Makes things very easy. We're gonna select invert selection. You know the drill. We're gonna color this in. Whoops. Gonna get the apple color. We'll clean that up. I'm gonna. I'm just getting the base colors down that I need. Drawing his freaky eyeball. Oh, wait a minute. I think I've been coloring on the wrong layer. That's better. Hate it when that happens. But it happens to the best of us. We're gonna color that in. Alright. Got to start hopping off it. It was nice seeing you. We'll see you later. You too, Huntress. I look forward to streaming more with you, but I just gotta find another job aside from Amazon. Because Amazon doesn't give me a lot of time. Thank you for joining me on the stream today. Gonna do this, color that in. Light pencil work is gonna be a nightmare. There. Because I shrink this down so much, it's just gonna be like really, really faded. Just like light pencil work, really. That's not fun. Bill. Actually fix my issues down there. That's cool. I'm gonna color the eyes now. Brush. Well, that's 5 down. Or it's gonna be 5 down. I did not anticipate drawing this many today. Most Pokemon have like 1 to 3 evolutions. This was a weird one. You know? I was not really anticipating having to draw this much today. But it is what it is. And I say that looks like pretty good Applin. It's absolutely kerfucked looking, but as far as I'm concerned, beautiful. This little fella is going to be grouped together. And that's it for that. Now for Hydrapple. Just adjusting myself in my chair. And bent forward. So I got to stretch every so often. Okay, seems like... Uh-oh, there's a hole somewhere. Where is the hole? Oh, that's one. Lock that up. That actually might have just been it. Yep. Okay. Select. Invert selection. And the colors back on. Okay. I forgot to include his little V things. I'll just draw them really scrawny on the top. Uh-oh. The bottom of his face also? Yeah, it is. Okay. We're gonna... that. And the inside of his mouth can just be this color. Nice. And I quickly, just really quickly color in his little arm things. Just to be accurate, because I know some people might like look at that and be like, "You missed his arm thing, you asshole, you stupid." So I'm gonna do that. Huh. They're in there. The back of his head has like this thing on it. I love that it's spooky month. Spooky month is the best month. And you guys like Serpalo? I like Serpalo. No, a while ago he was having this competition, I guess, to see whose design ends up in the show as like a fight pit thing. And I submitted mine. I made like I made this construction worker dude for groovy grown-ups. That was fun. I like participating in art challenges. I haven't been in a few of them. Recently, I've been in a couple. For the Salty DK Dan Friend Lock, they have a fan server that I'm a part of. I've taken part in a couple of different projects, which I am not going to disclose right now, but you should pay attention. Because I will at some point pretty soon, depending on that off the brand. I think that is all colored in for now. So we're gonna move on. Control G. Turn that off and turn that off. Good God, this fella. He did some pretty fucked up things, this asshole. But we're still gonna color him. Flapple. So select, invert selection. We actually might have to move this. It's got this gross putrid cheek color. Now to color his body. I will say this has to be the most like authentically Pokemon look I've seen in a while in a Pokemon design. This looks like something that could have shown up in like Gen 1 or 2. That's one of the newer ones, but still. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Nah, I'm not gonna answer it right away. I'll get back to it, whoever that was. Uh-oh. Color the inside here. Now I get all the apple colors. I have to get all the. I think this is gonna be one of the longer ones I've had in a while. Apple's eyes are like this sickly orange color. There we go. That's all colored in. Now we just have one more to go. Group that. Close that. Turn that off. And boom, one more. Appleton. Okay, sweet. Doesn't look like it bled in anywhere, so select invert selection. Awesome. Now we're just coloring him in. I'm gonna start off with his body color. Actually, he's like most predominantly that color, so we're gonna stick with that. Cool, cool. I'm gonna lock that, press E, get rid of the extra shit. There we go. Luckily, this guy's just kind of one solid mess. Steal this color. And then we're just gonna... That looks about right. What do you think, chat? Nice, nice. His belly's also gonna be that color. Oh no. Don't bleed out. No, what a happy looking little fat guy. Look at him. Beautiful. Then his head's gonna be like, yeah. Get the little apple slice on his face. That's going to be that color, and this is going to be that color. Coloring his little growths. Couple stretch marks here and there. Nice. And with that, let's get the family photo, shall we? This is it. This little guy actually is down here. That way he's behind the other two. Now we're going to move him up. Actually, he's going to go there. The Hydra is going to go under there. Like so. And that looks just about right. Look at that. I'm going to have to put my thing in the corner, but that's a bunch of Pokemon right there. Gonna get all their numbers now. What? Applin's number. The Applin evolutionary line. Okay, so it is. Okay. God damn it. I'm trying to get all this, all the numbers information from a TikTok. The TikTok keeps playing when I don't want it to. But we're going to. Okay. God damn it. It's like starting up on its own. Okay, 840 through. All right, fuck this. I'm trying so hard to get these numbers. Dex numbers. Okay, okay, I think I got it. So we have Applin, 840. We have Flapple, which is 841. We have Appleton, which is 842. And then we have, it jumps actually to 1011, which is Diplin. And then 1019, which is Hydrabble. That's a lot of Pokemon I drew today. Wowza. But all right. Now I just got to put my logo on it, and then we're good. My logo, I'm just gonna... That looks good enough. Gotta make sure that's entirely dark. I'm gonna get my little guy. So this is gonna be the corner here. Whoops, I want to. There's a new layer. Whoopsie doodle. There we go. Shrink that down a little bit. Gotta fit in that space. And there you have it. That's it all done. We got Applin through Hydrapple, which I think skips actually a generation or two. But yeah, so that was pretty fun. Now I gotta wait. Actually, no. Right here. I was gonna shade it, but I actually think I got some stuff I gotta do today. But it's fine. I think I did a pretty good job making them horrifying. I drew 5 of them in a row within the span of 2 hours and 20 minutes, which isn't too bad. So, if you like my stuff, I'm planning on keeping this series going. I want to hopefully start doing this regularly on multiple days a week instead of just Saturday. But I got to make sure that I have time to do it. I'm currently job searching, looking for something that will be a bit more beneficial to me, streaming art, doing things like that. But as soon as that's done, I'll keep you guys posted and start that train, get it going. If you like my stuff, I posted this on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe or follow here on Twitch. I also have my socials, which are Whoopsie Doodle, capitals, no spaces for the W, D, or the W, C, and D on Twitter. I have that linked in the YouTube as well. I think I have it linked on this profile. For my Blue Sky, I also have it linked as well, and that is the same as my Twitter, but it's everything's lowercase in those spaces. Yeah, just give me a follow, a like if you want to see more of it, and thank you for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.